I figure that I have fewer than 10 days before saying happy 2026 becomes a bit stale. So, happy 2026, colleagues. Welcome to our new year. Good evening, and welcome to this regular meeting of the Council of the Municipality of North Perth. Our meeting date is Monday, January 12th, 2026. I'm Mayor Todd Kasenberg, and I'll call this meeting to order. I ask the clerk to note our starting time for the minutes is 7 p.m. A warm welcome and greetings are extended to councillors, staff, delegations, and any observers who will participate in this meeting, regardless of whether they are physically in attendance in the council chamber in Listowel or being connected through web technologies. We begin tonight's meeting with the playing of O Canada. Those in chambers, as able, are invited to stand. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe peoples. We wish to recognize the long history of Indigenous peoples in Canada and show our respect to them today. We recognize their stewardship of the land. May we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship. Tonight's meeting is being streamed live on the Municipality of North Perth YouTube channel and will be available there after this meeting as an archived video. To those viewing the meeting via the YouTube channel, a warm welcome to you. To those present in the gallery today, by attending a public meeting of the Council, you are consenting to your image, voice, and comments being recorded. Anyone who is invited to speak will be recorded, and their voice, image, and comments will form part of the live stream. The chair and/or the clerk have the discretion and authority at any time to direct the termination and/or interruption of live streaming. Such direction will only be given in exceptional circumstances when deemed relevant. Circumstances may include instances where the content of debate is considered misleading, defamatory, or potentially inappropriate to be published. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if their actions result in inappropriate and/or unacceptable behavior and/or comments. Thank you. At this time, I invite, as always, your decorum over the course of the coming meeting. You can see that we have all councillors in their chairs in the council chamber in Listowel. Let us move to item 5 of our agenda pertaining to pecuniary interest. Members of council have full lives with engagement in the community. Sometimes they may find themselves with a potential financial or pecuniary interest in an item at the council table. Provincial legislation mandates councillors to declare this interest and in so doing to avoid direct involvement in the consideration of or voting on the item. I invite all councillors with a perceived pecuniary interest, including those who have already so declared in writing, to verbally advise the chair in public session. Documentation is to be submitted, if not already done, pursuant to council procedures. Councillors may declare now or at any point in the meeting should such interest be recognized. I was given advance notice from Councillor Johnston, so the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and Happy New Year to everyone. I'll declare conflict on item 8.1, public meeting, the corresponding bylaw 12.1, and of course 17.1, then the confirmatory bylaw as a officer of a corporation of an upstream owner of the Gibb Municipal Drain.
Great, thank you, colleagues. Anyone else wishing to make a declaration at this time? All right, seeing none, I'm having some problems with eScribe at this point. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, but we will try again. As chair of this meeting, I will manage the flow of proceedings tonight and largely in accord with our agenda and rules of procedure. Some may be participating remotely by web conference. Should they wish to speak, they may draw the attention of the clerk to this using the conference technology's text chat function. If technical difficulties arise for remote participants, I will advise, and we have Simon working on IT tonight. He can help. Let us now focus on the people's business. Part of that focus is achieved when those in the chamber silence and put away their phones. So now we're going to test whether I can get into eScribe. If colleagues, you'll indulge me for a moment to see if I can log in. Hang on. And I call that a success. So now we can get back on track. Regarding item 6 of our agenda, I have a resolution for our consideration to approve the agenda as follows, that the agenda for tonight's meeting be approved. Moved by Councillor Anstey. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Richardson. Thank you. Any discussion or debate on this resolution? Seeing none, let's have that vote. And that is carried. Thank you. Let's move next then to item 7 on our agenda, the so-called consent agenda. Consent items are placed on our agenda because they're believed to be non-contentious, yet they may warrant council's recognition and or action. Grouping them expedites our business. However, any councillor wishing to extract an item from the consent agenda for discussion, debate, and individual action may do so. There are 28 items on our consent agenda tonight, including the minutes of our last regular council meeting. Councillors, anything to extract here or any corrections that you'd like seen made to the minutes? Councillor Andreessen.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, staff, and the public joining us this evening. I would like to have an opportunity to discuss 7.9 regarding intimate partner violence through Optimism Place, and 7.22, a resolution shared by the Corporation of the Township of Perry regarding the removal of HST and GST from new home purchases. Thank you.
Okay, 7.9, 7.22. I got those numbers right. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to pull anything from the consent agenda? All right, Councillor Andreessen, let's isolate these two items and
Sure.
give you the floor for 7.9.
Yeah, so I'll begin with 7.9. This is regarding information received by Optimism Place, and they also have an accompanying letter from the Perth County OPP. To date, 107 municipalities across Ontario have declared intimate partner violence an epidemic, and in Perth County, West Perth made this declaration in 2025, and the City of Stratford made the declaration in 2023. North Perth has its own fair share of intimate partner violence, with OPP responding to 2 to 3 calls every day. Intimate partner violence negatively impacts our community's safety and well being, and these issues are happening here, and it's really not okay. As a council, we are part of the Perth County Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, and in the plan, gender based violence and intimate partner violence are both key priority areas. So it's very fitting for a municipality to consider this. I would like North Perth Council to stand with other municipalities in Perth County to declare intimate partner violence as an epidemic. I understand that this declaration is not just words, but as an employer ourselves, it will involve education for our staff through the provided resources and also raising awareness. Thanks for your consideration.
Okay, Councillor Andreessen, I assume that you are moving a resolution to have intimate partner violence declared as an epidemic in North Perth. Are we doing it geographically? Like, is that how this thing has unfolded in other communities?
According to the yes, the letter, the information that we received in correspondence, it is by individual small municipality.
Okay, so do you have something that's sort of workable there? Okay, they're giving me the nod. Did you want to speak to this, Clerk Carter, briefly? Okay, you've got a resolution. So moved by Councillor Andreessen. Can I call for a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Anstey. Thank you. Others wishing to participate at this point in discussion or debate? Councillor Rothwell.
Thanks, Mayor Todd, and greetings to council, staff, and public. I am certainly in support of the proposed resolution, and I would note that the City of Stratford has an upcoming event in the community in Stratford on Thursday, January the 29th. It's a intimate partner violence panel of experts. It's going to be at Stratford City Hall Auditorium at 7 p.m. So if I plan on attending that event, if members of council also wish to be more informed, I'll encourage councillors perhaps to take the initiative to inform themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? I'll offer a few comments. Certainly, as a member of the Police Detachment Board for the OPP, I saw a very compelling presentation from those who work in this field, including policing resources, and appreciate the significance of the issue. I have one vague concern, and I think you spoke to it, and that vague concern is we must not be performative here. These are not just words. If we choose to support this resolution, we need to do more than that. And to that end, as my colleagues probably have realized, in West Perth, when there was recognition of this as an epidemic, they also pursued the same training that the Police Attachment Board received on this subject matter. So for me, I would like to suggest from a sort of friendly amendment approach that we don't make this optional. Although certainly it's optional to attend the January 29th event in Stratford, there are other events, including one that will be in Listowel in March, on this topic as well. But I think that we should direct staff to organize a training opportunity for council to this end on this issue if we proceed towards the declaration of as suggested. I also offer one more thought, and this council has certainly seen over the years a number of resolutions coming from other councils about the declaration of a housing crisis emergency. And certainly, it is plain to me that there is a tight connection between intimate partner violence and housing. So, as we embark on taking or considering an IPV resolution here, we may need to think some more about our housing posture or position because certainly these things are pretty tightly connected. I do remind, and I think, to Perth East's intentions, as I understand it, Perth East Council opted not to endorse a resolution, but had, through the endorsement of the safety and well-being plan, essentially opted in to action on the issue because IPV is one of the pillars that's in the community safety and well-being plan. So, there's some options here for council, I think, and the only point that I make, and it's a clear um, compassionate point, is that if we're going to do this, we've got to put some skin in this game. This is not just about putting some words out there. This is about looking for training opportunities that are part of council's training package, and considering in the future whether there are investments that need to be made to support this issue. Okay, I've said my piece. Anyone else want to speak now at this point on this? Could I suggest to Councillor Andreessen that we revise the original?
Yes, through you, I think that was the intention too, and even my wording when I was sharing that this is more about just, declaring that this is an epidemic. It's about putting action to that. And my hope is that there's also embedded training for staff through human resources too to support them. And also, I would support your suggestions around council training too. Thank you.
Okay, so can we? I should check with Councillor Anstead. You okay if we add a little bit to this resolution? Can we build on this resolution direction to organize training opportunity for council and direction that staff be provided with training program as well?
Yes. So the resolution that we have is the Council of the Municipality of North Perth declares intimate partner violence as an epidemic in the municipality of North Perth, and that the Council of the Municipality of North Perth directs staff to organize a training session for members of council with respect to intimate partner violence, and further that staff be provided the training program as well.
Good with the mover and the seconder? Okay. Further comments? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so let's have that vote. I'm going to have to vote manually. I've been kicked out of eScribe 7 times tonight. So I'll be the fly in the ointment. Let's have that vote. I record a manual in favor vote. And we have a manual in favor vote from Councillor Rothwell, and that therefore is carried. Thank you. Councillor Andreessen, let's have you speak to item 7.22 next, please.
Sure. Through you, Mayor Kiesenberg, the next issue I'd like to talk to council about is item 7.22 from the Township of Perry. It's a resolution regarding the removal of HST and GST from new homes. So the Township of Perry has circulated their own resolution, and it's really about being concerned about affordable housing for residents. And here in North Perth, we have been very supportive of different measures through recent construction and through the number of local projects to create affordable housing units right here in North Perth. I think we should join the effort to request the provincial and federal governments to remove the HST and GST for purchases of new primary residences to support affordable housing. I believe that this should be in place actually for likely a minimum of 5 years while the next generation tries to raise money for purchasing their own homes. As a result, I think North Perth should endorse the proposed changes outlined by the Corporation of the Township of Perry to remove the HST and GST for the purchase of new primary residences. And just as an aside, I also believe that it's time that the federal and provincial government play their part, and this is how they could possibly do it. Thank you.
Thank you. This resolution is from Perry, speaks to a resolution they also endorsed in the same context from the municipality of South Huron. Um, Maybe we should check with Clerk Carter just for a brief moment. Did we ever endorse that resolution or receive that resolution through previous council package?
Through you, Mayor Kiesenberg, we have not.
So we're not quite sure what that looks like. We'd have to go back probably some distance to find it. All right, so shall we leave the South Huron resolution on the table, like not specifically endorse that, and just endorse what Perry has put forward? Does it seem like a reasonable strategy? And I assume that our resolution, so council supports the resolution from the Township of Perry, and we would circulate this to there's probably a very similar list to what they did So the Prime Minister of Canada, the Minister of Finance, Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities, Premier of Ontario, the Ontario Minister of Finance, the Ontario Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, MP John Nader, MPP Matthew Ray, AMO, um, and all municipalities. Does that seem right to you? All right, so we have a resolution that we've pulled together, moved by Councillor Andreessen. Can I call for a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Blazek. Thank you. Discussion or debate on this one? I'm not seeing any indication of that. If the clerk is ready, let's have that vote. No, get that again. Manual vote in favor as well. Manual vote in favor from Councillor Blazek. And you think we have everyone accumulated? That is carried. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Andreessen. Okay, before we turn to the entire consent agenda, any last minute polls before we move on here? All right, so I have a resolution pertaining to item 7 then as follows. Consent items 7.1 to 7.28 be received for information and the minutes of December 15th, 2025 regular council meeting be adopted. Moved by Deputy Mayor Callum, seconded by Councillor Duncan. Thank you. Any discussion or debate on this? Seeing none, let's have that vote. I record a manual in favor vote. Councillor Blazek records manually in favor. And that is carried. Thank you very much. All right, let's turn to item 8 on our agenda. We know that there's been a declared conflict. Councillor Johnston will be leaving the chamber at this point. Our agenda indicates that we will hold a public meeting pertaining to a matter of the Drainage Act related to the GIP municipal drain, and we will receive the engineer's report. For the purpose of executing this public meeting, I use my discretion as head of council to announce a recess that will last the duration of the public meeting. This council is in recess. All right, now we turn to the organizing of a public meeting. We are here for the purposes of considering the report for the GIP drain that this council has commissioned. This is a public meeting, and we welcome any assessed landowners who wish to offer comment or input on this report and project. At this time, I'll call on Brendan Widener, who's with Spreet Associates, an engineer, to present the report. Mr. Widener, welcome. Happy 2026.
So, good evening, everybody. Tonight we have the GIP drain. The GIP drain is a new drain for the township. Meaning it was a drain requested under Section 4, as requested by the backers in this case. As you can see on the map, that's the drain location. It does involve road or line 84, 147. Essentially, there's an existing open water course essentially along the property line between the two farms. So on the west side of I believe it's called William Becker Enterprises, and it runs up to the road and crosses it. That landowner conveniently owns the north side of line 84 as well. He requested this drain being closed, so this was not an existing municipal drain, it's a private water course. So essentially, you receive grant on the enclosure. So that being said, with discussions with the neighboring landowner, there was some discussions on where the property line actually was, and this drain is a little unique, and we did hire a land surveyor to stake out the property line. So that information concluded that the majority of the drain was on William Backers, but there was still a portion located on the westerly property owned by Johnston's. So what we have here tonight is a small open portion that is in the south part. It will remain open. We are incorporating as a municipal drain. We are then going to, there's a road back there, or an improved laneway. That is essentially where the enclosure will start, and it will go up to line 84. On the west side of William Becker's property will all be on his property. We'll provide the Johnson property to the west with some stubs to hook in their systematic tiling. We will then cross the road with a new subsurface pipe. There's an existing surface culvert there. We'll raise it up. So currently the north side of line 84 is draining into a surface culvert, which then goes down this ditch. So we're going to correct that. There'll be basins at the property line. And then on top of this, there was some discussion with the landowner and with the municipality. So as I'm sure many of you know, manure is pumped. They were using the existing surface culvert. So in this report, we're including work to put a culvert away from the water course. So this is being paid for by William Becker Enterprises. So they will have a separate crossing just for manure pumping. They pay for that 100%, but at least by including this, it can be done by the same contractor. There's some cost savings there, and as well, it kind of puts it away from the water course in general. That being said, this landowner also asked for the upsized drain. So this is a 50 mil design, so 2 inches in 24 hours. We have permitting from the DFO as well as Maitland Valley. Total cost of the project is $220,000. Much of the assessment is on William Becker Enterprises, but there is two other owners, a few other owners, I should say. So I guess if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Widener. This is the opportunity for questions to be asked of the engineer about the project. Does anyone come to this meeting and in attendance who is an assessed landowner who wishes to ask questions about this project? Okay. Colleagues from council, any of you wish to ask any questions about this project? All right. We're not seeing any questions being posed, but I'll ask one last time. Anyone wishing to ask any questions or register a concern about this project? All right. So that means that we can proceed from this public meeting, noting that no one has brought forward significant concerns and that we haven't had anyone express a desire to withdraw. Therefore, we can adjourn. I will do that. This meeting is adjourned. Okay, now we have some resolutions for our consideration, and we need to bring council back into regular session. So I declare that the recess is over for the public meeting and that we have returned to the regular session of council. And let me get my papers straight here. We have two resolutions for our consideration as follows. The first is that the Council of the Municipality of North Perth accepts the GIP Municipal Drain Report dated November 25th, 2025, prepared by Spreet Associates. Moved by Councillor Rothwell, seconded by Councillor Nordum. Any discussion or debate on this one? Seeing none, let's have that vote. So I'm getting some manual votes in favor from Councillor Andreessen, Councillor Bozak, and myself. And that means that's carried. Thank you. And then we have a resolution pertaining to the Court of Revision as follows: that the Council of the Municipality of North Perth will hold the Court of Revision for the GIP Municipal Drain on February 23rd, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Can I call for a mover on this one? Councillor Nordum, thank you. And Councillor Richardson as our seconder. Any discussion or debate on this one? I don't see any, so let's have that vote. And I record a manual in favor vote. Councillor Andreessen in favor. Councillor Plazik is successfully getting back in for this moment. And with that, that's carried. Thank you very much. All right, let's draw Councillor Johnston back in. Thank you, Mr. Widener, as always. That brings us to item 9 on our agenda. First, let us consider an item from the Development and Protective Services Department is item 9.1. For this item, 9.1.1, Council is presented with a report from the County of Perth Planning Department on an application to sever a residential parcel from an existing agricultural lot for property in the Wallace Ward owned by proponent Thalen Livestock and represented by Ryan Bagnall of MRP. I'll call on Planner Nathan Garland from Perth County to address this item. Welcome, Mr. Garland, first report of 2026.
Thank you, Mayor Kasenberg, members of North Perth Council. I am here to present surplus severance application B54 2025. The owners are Thalen Livestock Incorporated, and the applicant or agent is Ryan Bagnall. Just for council's reference, this property has previously just transferred hands, so that has been confirmed that the property transfer has gone through. So just for your background on that, the location is noted as part lot 25, part lot 26, concession 9 in Wallace Ward, and the municipal address is 5929 Road 178. Just a couple images from both 178 and Highway 23. So the ones looking south, 178 along the laneway there. So just showing the house and the shop at the back there. And then also from Highway 23, looking at the cross section of the house and the shop also. There's a bit of a walkout. So the property line does follow roughly that edge of the tree line around the property. So it just extends around there. So it is a bit of an odd shaped parcel, but that's just based on the tree configuration, maintaining that separate from the agricultural lands. Just an outline of the subject land. So it is including the house, the shed or shop. There's a pool, and then also you'll see at the very south end there, that's a solar panel or a solar mounted, ground mounted solar system. The proposed requested severed lands is approximately 1.2 hectares, and the proposed retained land by the agricultural operator is 17.3. So the agricultural operator in this case is looking to hold these lands and maintain them, and then sell the house off, I understand, possibly one of their children. Standard conditions are recommended. MTO did provide some comments on this application. They just have requested the retained lands have access off of 178. So that's just the north as opposed to 23. We were kind of expecting that, so no concerns there. Notice of application was provided on November 21st, 2025. No comments or concerns by any of the neighbors. I will note Wellington County is just directly north of this as well too. No comments or concerns from any of the Wellington folks either. Therefore, staff are supporting the application, and we are requesting the North Perth Council direct the County of Perth or their approved agent to approve consent application B54 2025. I'm happy to address or answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Garland. Colleagues, questions, first comments? I'm not seeing any, so let's enter the resolution into the record as follows. The Council of the Municipality of North Perth advises the Land Division Committee or its delegated authority that the Municipality of North Perth supports application file B54-25 submitted by Thalen Livestock Inc. for lands described as Part Lot 25 and Part Lot 26, Concession 9, Wallace Ward, Municipality of North Perth, subject to the conditions listed in the staff report dated January 12th, 2026. Can I call for a mover? Moved by Councillor Richardson, seconded by Councillor Andreessen. Thank you. Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, let's have that vote. Councillor Andreessen records a manual in favor vote. I'll record a manual in favor vote. And we have all votes accounted for. That is carried. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Garland, for your attendance tonight. Let's move to an item brought by the Corporate Services Department under item 9.2 of our agenda. In item 9.2.1, pursuant to the transfer of ownership of the Perth Adult Life Care Residences, also known as Perth Meadows, to United Housing, which occurred in December, the clerk brings forward an item of housekeeping, essentially, namely to dissolve the Perth Adult Life Care Residence Committee and express appreciation to those who have served. Clerk Carter, you can speak briefly to this if you would.
Thank you, Mayor Kasenberg, through you to members of council. As you're aware, the Perth Adult Life Care Residence Committee was established by council to provide advice and recommendations specifically related to the Perth Meadows development. Following the sale of that property to United Housing in December 2025, any advisory arrangements that committee had with the municipality are no longer relevant. So tonight, staff are seeking a resolution of council to officially dissolve the committee.
Thank you, Clerk Carter. Any questions or first comments on this? Councillor Blazek.
Thank you, through you, Mayor Kaisenberg. Um, I sat on this committee from the beginning of my term here up until it was dissolved. I enjoyed this committee very much. There are some characters that sat on this committee with me, and it was a great time. I'm still hoping to continue to work with the committee. There is a sort of self-appointed social director at Perth Meadows, and I'm working with her to set up some music days and entertainment throughout the winter for some of the residents there. It's a good time and seems like a great place to live. I would hope that if in this term of council, United Housing comes here and is looking for a member of council to sit on a committee, and they're looking for a council representative, I would love to have first kick at the can should staff and members of council see fit. I enjoyed my time. I really appreciate the members of this committee. So I just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Blazek. These changes do have impacts on the people that we cross paths with in the context of that. So I appreciate your heartfelt remarks. Anyone else with comments, questions here? Do we have the resolution? Okay, all right. I don't think we've moved and seconded yet, have we? Yeah, okay. So I have a resolution here as follows. That the Council of the Municipality of North Perth dissolves the Perth Adult Life Care Residence Committee effective January 12th, 2026, and that staff be directed to formally advise all members of the Perth Adult Life Care Residence Committee of this dissolution in writing and thank them for their efforts. And there are folks over many years who made efforts towards this, so I think a blanket appreciation on behalf of Council is appropriate. Can I call for a mover? Councillor Blazek, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Duncan, thank you. Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, let's have that vote. Councillor Andreessen records a manual in favor vote. I record a manual in favor vote. And that is unanimous. Thank you. That is carried. All right. That was a pretty short business agenda. Let's turn to item 10 on our agenda tonight. Any member of council wish to ask for a report from staff or from one of our committees? I'm not seeing that. For item 11, we have received one item of correspondence beyond those shared in the consent agenda for council's consideration and disposition. As item 11.1, we have received a request for an exemption to the municipality's so-called noise bylaw at a residence in Listowel on Inkerman Street East for the date of August 8th, 2026. In our council package was a letter from the requester, and I have a resolution that would allow us to act permissively should council be willing. Is council willing to entertain that resolution? All right, so as follows, that the Council of the Municipality of North Perth approves Ashley Bannerman's request dated October 13th, 2025 regarding an exemption to the timing regulations stipulated in the noise bylaw on Saturday, August 8th, 2026 until 1 a.m. on Sunday, August 9th, 2026. Should we be stating the location in the resolution?
Through you, Mayor Kusenberg, it does say in the resolution that it's per the request. When we circulate it to police and by law enforcement, we'll circulate a copy of the letter.
Okay, makes sense. All right, good. Moved by Councillor Rothwell, thank you. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Callum, thank you. Any discussion or debate on this one? Seeing none, let's have that vote. Councillor Rothwell is in favor. I am in favor. Councillor Andreessen is in favor. Councillor Blazek won the lottery and is holding on here tonight, apparently. And it's carried. All right, I didn't see it on the screen. Thank you. You moved too fast as I narrated the play-by-play, and that is carried. Thank you. All right. Let's turn next again to consideration of the bylaws that have been recommended to us for action tonight. We have two bylaws for our consideration. The enabling resolution outlines for each bylaw their number and purpose. I see Councillor Johnston just itching to go for a walk. Just what he needs. Yep. The resolution is as follows: that bylaw 1-2026 be read a first and second time and be provisionally adopted, and that the following bylaw is hereby passed: 2-2026, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 147-2022. Can I call for a mover? Councillor Anstett, thank you. Councillor Nordum, thank you as a seconder. Any discussion or debate on this? Seeing none, let's have that vote. Councillor Rothwell is in favor. Councillor Andreessen is in favor, and I am in favor as well. And with that, we have that carried. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item 13 on our agenda. Does any councillor wish leave to give notice of motion tonight? We should bring Councillor Johnston back into the room. Thank you. Any notices of motion in your pocket? Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm not hearing a favorable response to that question. That brings us to item 14 on our agenda. For item 14, are there any announcements that would be of benefit to our community or that reflect well on North Perth at this time? Colleagues, Councillor Roth.
Thanks very much, Mayor Todd. Next Sunday through Tuesday, I'll be attending the Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference in Toronto. I believe Mayor Todd's also attending. I believe there's opportunity for plenty of education experiences there through workshops and so on, as well as I understand there will be some delegations that Mayor Todd is going to be involved with both at the county level as well perhaps as municipality in North Perth. So we'll keep council posted in terms of that event, but look forward to attending on behalf of council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rothwell. Anyone else with an announcement under 14? Deputy Mayor Cal.
Yes, thank you through you, Mayor Kasenberg, and just through sales. Now, if you could pass on to our Public Works Department, we've had a dreadful 3 weeks of weather, going from snowstorms and road closures to flooding, and I just appreciate the work that they did, the countless hours. And if you could pass that on from council, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you for raising that. Certainly, I had opportunity in the last week to meet with some of our more tenured employees in that department and express appreciation to them. And certainly, the entire department deserves kudos for the hard work that's happened over the holidays. Not an easy time, that's for sure. If I could pass a bylaw with my strong mayor powers, it might be about the weather. All right, that brings us to item 15. We have no matters for consideration in a closed session meeting of council tonight. That brings us to 16, which means we have nothing to report about because we didn't go into closed session. Councillor Johnston, one more walk. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, council has a mandated good practice action at the end of its meeting agenda to confirm all of its actions and business of its meeting through what's called the confirmatory bylaw. I have a copy of same here and an enabling resolution for that bylaw, which reads as follows: that bylaw 3-2026, being a bylaw to confirm generally previous actions of the council of the municipality of North Perth, is hereby passed. Moved by Councillor Duncan, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Rothwell, thank you. Any discussion or debate on this one? Seeing none, let's have that vote. Councillor Rothwell records a manual in favor vote. Councillor Andreessen, where are you? You got in? And I'll record a manual in favor vote. And that resolution is carried. Thank you. All right, colleagues, for our bylaws that touch on provincial priorities considered and passed at tonight's meeting, I am in support and will not execute a veto. This information is also provided to the clerk as part of my required duties as mayor. We have completed deliberation and taken action on the business items that come before us tonight. It might be the shortest meeting of this council term. I'm thinking it is thus appropriate for us to consider adjournment. I have a motion to that effect as follows: the council meeting adjourns at 7:45 p.m. to meet again for general council business on Monday, January 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Can I call for a mover? Moved by Councillor Anstead, seconded by Councillor Johnston. It's not debatable. Let's have that vote. And Councillor Rothwell, you still out? He votes in favor, and I vote in favor. Anyone else need to do a manual vote? And I'm not seeing that, and so that is carried, colleagues. We are again meeting on Monday, January 26th, 2026